Mr President, honourable members. After the tragic fire accident of the Grenfell Tower in London, many have been asking what the Commission is doing to ensure fire safety of buildings. So I therefore want to use this opportunity and to use this occasion of this plenary to clarify the responsibilities of the Commission and the Member States in this extremely important matter. Fire safety, of course, is a complex issue which is not determined only by the choice of the construction products or how those are tested. Factors playing really an equally crucial role are, for example, the general design of the building, effectiveness of the installed fire detection, fire alarm and fire fighting systems, location of the building, potential fire accelerators either inside or around the buildings, good maintenance, not mentioned here, of the fire protection system, and of course human behaviour. What is perhaps even more important, fire safety is crucially dependent on the effective enforcement of fire safety regulations in different levels, national, regional and local. Today, under the subsidiarity principles, fire safety in the buildings is regulated at the level of the Member States. This is due to important differences in local conditions between Member States' countries. For example, certain Member States do not allow inflammable construction products to be used in buildings, while others do not have such requirements. The EU should only undertake actions if the objectives of the fire safety cannot be sufficiently achieved by the Member States. Today, the Commission has no compelling proof that national regulations are not reaching this goal. For this reason, we consider that it is not justified for the Commission to regulate at EU level in order to ensure the fire safety of buildings. What are our Commission's competences? Under the current rules, the EU's role is to make sure that construction products which have the necessary performance requested in given EU Member States are not rejected. To enable this, the EU sets common testing methods for specific products, not their safety requirements. Thanks to this, Member States set their own safety requirements for buildings. The Commission is entrusted with the implementation of the Construction Products Regulation. I will call it CPR. The CPR is based on the Article 114 of the Treaty on the Functioning of the EU. Under the CPR, the European performance tests include the examination of how construction products behave in fire in terms of reaction to fire, resistance to fire and fire performance of roofs. Furthermore, the Energy Performance of Buildings Directive requires Member States to set minimum requirements for thermal energy performance of buildings. This legislation does not limit the responsibility of Member States to define requirements on construction products in the field of fire safety. Quite the contrary. The various pieces of EU legislation should be applied coherently. Therefore, Member States may equally have requirements on the fire safety regarding, for example, the spread of the flame or the emissions of smoke. During the last years, the need for more energy-performing buildings resulted in a large choice of new construction products offered in the market for building and their facade, which is equally important. These modern ways of construction, like for example the external cladding system, creating a modern facade, and the need to renovate older buildings, have changed significantly the exterior of our buildings. They are thus a challenge to the regulatory authorities of the Member States. Moreover, new emerging issues of fire performance of construction products which are not yet covered by CPR are the smoke toxicity from construction products in fire and the fire performance of facades. So they are not covered yet by CPR. For these two items, the Commission has already asked for independent studies much before the Grenfell Tower, the Grenfell fire. The results will provide very useful information, I hope, for the Commission, for the Member States authorities, and for the construction industry alike. While fire safety is within Member States' responsibility, the Commission offers to take a facilitating role and add value by bringing the relevant actors together. Therefore, I can commit that we will set up a fire information exchange platform. This forum will facilitate, I hope, the exchange of information among national authorities, among the stakeholders. The platform is expected to examine the issues regarding the various fire safety practices of Member States, lessons learned from the fire accidents in the Union and abroad, experience obtained from new products and technologies, as well as use of fire engineering principles for setting regulatory requirements. By learning from each other and by sharing information, Member States authorities will have the full knowledge of the advantages and disadvantages of the regulatory choices they have to make. For this, we need a broad participation of Member States, open discussion of the issues encountered, independence and, of course, objectivity. We are therefore working in close cooperation with the Presidency to organise the first meeting, currently scheduled for 16th of October, so in a month's time. To conclude, let me say that the Commission shares everyone's concerns to make sure that our buildings are fireproof. As I said, the EU Member States remain responsible for setting the level of fire safety in buildings on their territory and to enforce their building regulations. We have no proof for now that national rules are not achieving this today. The Commission is examining emerging new issues like smoke toxicity and the fire behaviour of facade, and it evaluates the functioning of the internal market for construction products. We will act if EU intervention is needed, but not more than what is necessary to ensure the single market of construction products. We are fully aware of the regulatory challenges posed to the Member States authorities. Therefore, we believe that the exchange of knowledge and experience among authorities and stakeholders is very important, and we consider it as necessary. Under the current framework, I believe that this is the best way to contribute to the protection of European citizens. I see the Commission as a facilitator rather than the regulator in this area. Thank you very much.